morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Naturally Nat. Today I'm going to do kind of a cross between a short and a video. I guess you'd call that a video. Not quite long enough for a video, but too long for a short. In a previous video, I discussed that my neighbors were going to have their 71st wedding anniversary, and I was making a carrot cake for them. And I did. And I was also thinking, you know what, I should bring them some dinner too. Now, they're 90 years old, so, you know, if you're thinking some kind of funky oven-fired pizza, spicy, fresh jalapenos for two 90-year-olds, maybe not the best idea. But I know something that you can do, and you should do. Stop thinking about you for a change and think about other people now and then. You might have a neighbor who just had to put down their cat, whether you live in an apartment or you're living in a house. Get to know people around you. Think about how other people would like to be treated based on how you'd like to be treated. You could have a neighbor whose son went off to college, and maybe it's a single parent, and they're really missing them. Get to know your neighbors, and you can bring something like this over whenever you think they might be going through a hard time. And if you don't know that, then maybe you should get to know your neighbors, because we're all in this together. And it's nothing better than having somebody think about you, right? So I'm going to talk about this little quick food you can bring over to your neighbor. And sometimes you can do it just because you like them and you talk over the fence every now and then and you were thinking of them. It's something you can freeze, and it's something that you can bring assembled and that they can freeze, or that they can pop in the oven with your short instruction that you tape on the outside of the tin foil. And it's just something that's been around forever, since Campbell's Soup invented it, and that is simply tuna casserole, which is good for everybody. I'm not a casserole person, but you can't go wrong. And certainly with senior citizens, because it's a simple dish, it's not terribly high in sodium, and it's comforting, okay? So I'm the big queen of splitting dishes, and since this is only for two people, I'm not making a whole lot. I'm just making what will fit in a greased 8x8 disposable aluminum pan, which is great to give to people because you don't have to worry about whether you're going to get back or nothing, because it's not worth much, right? You can get these at the grocery store for $1 or $2. What I got in a big bowl is a can of tuna, drained real well, and about a half a cup of frozen peas from my freezer. These are all things I have laying around at all times anyway. To that, you want to add a good old can of cream of mushroom soup. And you want to add, I'm having it, remember, roughly, and I didn't even measure this, roughly 2 cups of already cooked, and you'll want to cook them almost till they're done. So if they say on the back of the package of the noodles, cook them 10 minutes till done, you want to cook them only 7, because they're going to go in the oven and finish out thoroughly cooking, okay? So I added that to my bowl with my cream of mushroom soup and my peas. Now, the original old recipe, I don't think calls for cheese, but I say, why not add cheese, right? Who doesn't love cheese? If you don't love cheese, I'm very sad for you. This is all that goes in a standard casserole like this. You could add some pepper. In fact, I'm going to do that. Not a whole lot for my sweet neighbors. I might add a little garlic powder, because why not? I already have about 1/4 cup chopped onions that I threw in the water with the noodles when they were cooking, so that they're already chopped. I'm going to put this in the buttered tin, and then I'm just simply going to put crushed potato chips on top, because that's fun. I don't know if the original 1950s recipes called for that back in the day, but I mean, who doesn't like it? And doesn't everybody always have the last quarter of a potato chip bag that nobody wants to eat because it's all crushed up chips? I know I do around here. And Daniel will say, I don't leave 1/4 cup of chips, smashed chips at the bag, but that happens at every household, doesn't it? And you throw your dog a little leftover cheese. There you go, Rosie. So it should look like this. Then I'm going to grab those leftover chips that Daniel and BM didn't eat, and I'm just going to, you see, there you go, they're just rippled chips. I'm just going to crush them on the top. However you want to put is up to you. Now, I think the standard tuna fish casserole that most people make, or what was on the back of Campbell's soup label a long time ago, it says maybe buttered breadcrumbs. You could do that too. But honestly, the chips have fat in them, so you don't need the butter. And again, what are you going to do with these? What are you going to do with these chip shards, right? Just go ahead and do this. I even have some little extra chips that I keep for toppings. And it doesn't matter if they're stale, because if you're doing something in the oven and you're using chips as toppings, the staleness is gonna get baked right off. I'm gonna cover her up with a piece of tin foil. I'm gonna put a note on there, 350 with the foil off, 30 minutes or until done. I'm gonna bring that carrot cake with cream cheese frosting and a card over to my neighbors. They don't know any of this. It's gonna make their day. So sometimes doing something like that, it makes other people happy, but you know what? It makes you happy too. So find somebody you can surprise with a little treat like this in your neighborhood, or even just one of your friends that you're gonna drop by, knock, knock, give them a present and leave. Make their day a little bit nicer. So wherever you're at, have a great day, great afternoon, a great evening. Do great things, be your best self, and I'm gonna see you next time.